Alright guys, Supreme Kami here, and it's time to talk about episode 19 of Wish from Mercury. So, another week with another episode. It's a banger, and another one, right? I guess we are heading towards the finale since this episode 19, so I do expect somewhere around 25 episode. But I don't know, have we even hit the climax yet? But man, it's keep getting better and better every week, and it's it's more depressing as we go through the episode as well. But once again, we are overloaded with tons of information, just a lot of revelation with things that are happening, a lot of plot twists. I don't even know if you want to call it plot twists, but I think things are just getting clear week by week, and that's great. I definitely was one of the viewers that judging by the title, I shouldn't expect things to be better, but things did not go right. It went south, obviously. But this episode once again is one of those that it jumps back and forth from school, from what happened on Earth, what happened with the Pale Tech, what happened with like Bell Winston with Fang. So I'm just gonna focus on one thing, moving on to another one. So because I do want to talk about things in like more, streamlined fashion. Then let's talk about from like 1 minute mark, 2 minute mark, and that. But let's talk about school. So school wise stuff, we had Martin from last week. He got busted. But man, from Cecilia point of view, man, she is out here giving some light blessing to Martin. I guess my overall, I think, perspective of her obviously has changed. She might give off that vibe as like that one mean girl, kind of looking down upon other student. But she obviously is. But I think she's just giving a very important piece of advice to Martin. Just go tell him. Go tell him what you think. I think ultimately they like your house should accept you for what you did. I think Martin was just trying to find excuse to kind of play as that, oh, I'm doing it because of XYZ. But if you tell them your intention, I am very certain the herb house will understand. So I think that was pretty much the dilemma with Martin and then Cecilia. So that was it. We'll get back to Martin in just a little bit. So yeah, so Celetta is if you have to describe her, she literally is a personification from one or to 100 to zero. Like she literally hit you know bottom barrel, right? 2 episodes ago, she was hurt by Mione, and last episode she was hurt by Arios, or aka Ari and her mom. So she literally, was not. She's literally on that grief mode, I guess, right? She just not doing anything. But eventually she was hungry. She wanted to grab some snack, and then we have a Choo Choo finding her. Man, that was the best. I guess the most funniest shot of Soletta and the sound she's making. But yeah, she's just crying as they were like, that one part when one of the girls was like giving her some drink and all that. So that's the part we got Martin, and then just talking about the whole Nika situation and what's going on. But they did, come to the realization of like how much burden Martin was in. So obviously things, pretty much reconciled in terms of the Earth House, and with Soletta and all that good stuff. So she's kind of out right now. So she's just gonna talk to them, like to her friends, to see if she can feel better. But obviously there's still a hole inside her heart that needs to be repaired. I don't know if that shattered heart will ever be repaired or not, but we will have to see. So we have a quick movement with the trio. We have Noah. We have the enhanced person for Ellen, and then we obviously do have Nika herself. This I think this overall section is just another great perspective from Noah, because she was having a mental breakdown. Just with her drawing on a notebook, saying die like a bajillion million time. It just shows that she might look really like having that poker face, emotionless, but I think deep inside she's just trying to hide her um, really vulnerable self, because she obviously does not want to die piloting the Gundam, but I'm pretty certain she's put into that situation just because can't find any help. She's over here still grieving for Sophie, but yeah, it's just another great moment for her character itself. Just to show the audience that she's not always that mean girl, that girl that comes up with that really blank looking face. She's she needs help as well. She just really vulnerable. She's helpless in a way. So I do like the fact that Ellen is out there embracing her. Just kind of holding her hand because they are both in the same boat. They will, if they keep piloting their respective units, they will eventually come to the same conclusion. So that was a very touching moment in my opinion. So now let's get into the meat. So from last episode, we know that we have Grill, we have Kananji, we have Mione and Prospera. They're traveling to Earth just to trying to see if they can calm down the, you can say the rebellions from the Earthshian. But obviously, from me, my perspective was like, all right, things would turn better, but I had no idea this is actually a scheme from Prospera to destroy the Gundams, the Lafrib, that was still being, like somehow the original, what is it, the Ox Earth, like whatever they're doing, it was still functioning. So somewhere out there, people are funding, like an organization is still secretly funding that. And in terms of those Lafrib, they're being distributed to the full of Dawn. So that's pretty much the whole revelation of what really happened. So Mione herself really was the scapegoat. Like she was the one to blame for because they all thought, oh, she's trying to negotiate with the Urshian to see if they can have like a just to see if they can resolve all the conflict. But boy, oh boy, that did not happen. We did actually saw a great shot at the very opening shot where we have Yone just embracing the window because she was looking upon Earth. Because you remember from the very first episode, we have Mione trying to escape to Earth because she was just not having with all her dad's BS and stuff. But now this is a whole completely situation. She's out here kind of doing big things. So that was definitely a great moment right there. But yeah, so eventually Mione was able to kind of negotiate with like some of the representative from the Earth side or from the Earth side. But things weren't the way they were meant to be because like the people like the people on Earth wasn't really having it, right, because of what really happened after the planet Quanta's incident. But eventually she was able to just kind of like negotiate with them, and because she was trying her best. She really was like, her whole intention really was to see if she can stop all the conflicts, right? She even brought out the machine, like the what is it? The machine, like the like whatever the project they were on, it's the like man, I can't even think of the word, but you guys will see. She was trying to persuade them with like, oh, like we're trying out this new medical technology, like the people that created it was like it was from the Asakasa school, like they're created by the Earthshian as well. So she does not really want to kind of end that bond, right? Eventually they did accept because the spokesperson from the Earth side, like he was a doctor as well, so he really does understand. Maybe Mione is for real, trying to get things straight. But then we have a shot of Prospera. So she had her gun bits. So she actually hit them in those containers, and then she fly them off, and then activating the Data Storm, kind of controlling the enemies or the Earth-sized machine firing at her. So quote unquote, violating. I didn't bring any weapons, so why are you firing at me? So that kind of playing style. So she obviously was like, oh, I gotta escape, but her intention, there's a location within I think the Qua Harbor that they were hiding, or they were mass producing all the Lefebvre. So she went in there and destroyed the heck out of them, blew every single one of them. So I don't know, like it's still a mystery, quote unquote, as to like who's running all the like the mass production of the Lefebvre. But I think it has to do something with the assembly league. I think they have to do something with that and funding all those things um, to Donna Full. And next thing, I think that's pretty much the whole premise. And we have an interesting discovery. So Gru actually saw the boy that he encountered during his time back on Earth. So he kind of found that boy. He went after them because they kind of have that because that boy was trying to beg for her, whatever, and then he left, right? And then we have Grill, and then we have a Kananji kind of running after him to just kind of talk to him and whatnot. In terms of what the boy wants, he was trying to say, oh, if he can go to that one school where Earth people can go to, and the most important thing he slipped out was he wanted to be like the prince. In terms of who the prince was, is AKA Shadiq, because he was once on Earth. So this is the discovery Grill and Kanaji discovered. So they didn't know that, or they kind of knew, or somehow it was an information known to people from Donafol that Shadi once was on Earth, and then he was picked up from the Grassley program that kind of re-educate student or kids from Earth. So he was part of it. So they now come to the full circle where all the event that happened, the incident at Open Campus, the incident over on Planet Quasa, everything was plotted by Shadiq. So what the boy told him was a very, very valuable information. So what a discovery by those two. So Grill and then Kanaji are just making their way back onto space because they gotta go see, or they pretty much trying to confront Shadiq into why are you doing all of this, right? And they're trying to see if they can find President Series because he should be alive somewhere safe, right? So we have that. I guess to kind of end up the notes, we do have kind of like a little bit of an interrogation between Bill Winston and then Fang. So Fang out here was trying to see if she can convince Belle Winston to leak information, any information as to like what the heck Prospera is doing. She's not really hinting it, but she wants her to give more information as to like what really happened because if things turns out she's gonna be the scapegoat for violating the agreement of not making any Gundams and whatnot. So obviously things didn't go right there because this distant to Prospera came to that like their location and freaking shot Fang. So she's injured. At this point in time, we don't know if she's good or not. But Belle did talk about the Choir Zero plan. So, and that's pretty much where we kind of end things off with. Like towards the very end, we do get back on Earth. It's a whole place being a total disaster, like everywhere with destruction, and we have a very menaced shot of Ariel. So that is pretty much where we left things off with episode 19. So this is a very, very informational heavy episode. So we gotta wait until episode 20. So I do expect episode 20 to be yet another banger with just loads and loads of information, and then things might just click more because I still have a lot of questions as to like why things are happening the way they are. But we just gotta wait for more days into episode 20 is live. But other than that, that is pretty much it for me, and I will be catching you guys all on the next one.